here it is. Now, this is where some people freak out. Good morning, everyone. Oh, started with a cough. Back again at it with a third video. Got my camera working. Here's me face. Look at my bright smile. Great, wonderful. Let's get started. Today, we're going to show you how to start playing Axie Infinity. Right, ready? Let's go. MetaMask. This is crypto. MetaMask is your friend. This is your all-in-one wallet for everything Ethereum. It's trusted. It's verified. It works like a breeze. How do you get it? Let's head over to metamask.io right here. Make sure that is exactly how you type it, right? You can Google it. It pops up, but sometimes when you Google it, you get scam websites. So make sure this is the right one. I'll drop the link in the description. Go ahead and download that. That should give you a Chrome plugin. So follow the prompts. Make sure you go through all of that. If you need help, there are guides everywhere on MetaMask on YouTube. I won't go into it in detail here. Most importantly, make sure you keep your private key to yourself. Don't share it with anyone. Don't share it with your ex-wife. Don't share it with anyone you don't trust at all, right? Maybe put it in your will or something. Once you have that, that's set and go. You will need some Ethereum. Where I get my Ethereum is I go to Binance. I've just found that quick and easy to use. It might take you a day to get that set up if you haven't. Again, not a deep dive into crypto, but you will need Ethereum to pay for gas and also to buy your first team of Axies. So let's keep that in mind and we'll go into it in detail in this video. Next up, we need another wallet. We need the Ronin wallet. Now, what is the Ronin wallet? Ronin is the native network and for can't even talk, for Axie Infinity, right? So it's like, think of it as the MetaMask for Axie specifically. Where do you get it? You go to the official Axie website right here, axieinfinity.com. Again, I want to stress that this is the only website out there for Axie. Make sure it's typed correct. I've had a lot of people, including people in our guild, get scammed by going to the wrong website. So I will drop this link in the description as well. Head over to their homepage. There's a whole bunch for you to explore and read, which I'm sure you probably have already browsed by now. But if you want to go and install and play, click that plus play now button. They tidy this up. I've made it easy for you. So 4 steps, get started, obviously, and you just go through the 4 steps. The first one is setting up your Ronin wallet. There you go, easy peasy. If you're on mobile, that's there. I use desktop, so Chrome, good old Chrome, click that, and you should be taken to the extension. Lovely. Should look like this. Once you've installed it, so I've got my Ronin there, you guys can walk through that yourselves. I'm sure they've set that up to be ultra user friendly. Let's go into the next step, getting Axies. All right, we will go into a bit more after we finish this setup, and they're just prompting you. They make it so easy these days. That's awesome. Download and play. That's the one I want to show you guys. You got to make sure you download the game later on. So Sky Mavis have this other software app here that you need to download and install on your computer so you can actually play the game, right? So make sure you download that for your desktop, which I'm using, or your Android phone right now. The iOS is still not quite right. So if you have an iPhone, I suggest you play on your desktop or get and use your Android right now. Hopefully that would fuel further growth in the future. Okay, after you've done that, this is the part where we go and buy up our Axies. Actually, before that, I might just show you guys how to set up Ronin properly. See if I've got a test account for you guys here. Look at all these scholarship accounts. Alrighty, let's say this was your account. You'd head over to the marketplace. That's a link. I'll drop it. Again, you could find links to it via the official Axie website. So from the homepage, you get taken straight into here. This is where you're probably going to live your majority of your life with Axie Infinity, apart from gameplay. There's the marketplace, which we'll go into. But let's say you're logging in for the first time, right? You come here, you need to log in, or that's the login button. It's going to ask you to sign. If you're new to this, it's going to look unfamiliar. Just click confirm. It's just signing in with your personal wallet. It's safe. You got to give it a name. Let's call this Hyperion 90 is what it is. And you're going to be prompted to drop your email and password, which is fine. Drop that in with whatever you prefer. It'll be a different setup when we move into scholarships, and that's a completely different guide and a lot more fun as well, actually. So we'll get into that in the next few videos, but go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to log out of this account, jump into the main account so I can show you guys how to actually buy your Axies. That's the main account there. Now, remember I said you need Ethereum. Did you get it? You need, let me see, what is the latest?
Eventually.
I reckon you probably need about 0.1 Ethereum for your first team. Okay, these prices are going to fluctuate a fair bit, but let's say you've got a good amount of Ethereum you want to plug in. What happens once you withdraw that Ethereum to your MetaMask from Binance or FTX or wherever you're getting your Ethereum from? You need to come to this Ronin bridge. Again, I'm going to reiterate, how do you get there? You can go by the main website. They've got this drop-down navigation to all resources, Axie Infinity. Here's the Ronin bridge. I just have a direct link. I save all these direct links. It makes it a lot easier. This Ronin bridge lets you deposit from your MetaMask to your Ronin, right? So if we deposit, I've got to sign into my MetaMask. I won't do that here because then you guys might find out that I'm a foo or someone really important. But go ahead and do that. And you just follow the prompts there to deposit your Ethereum. Once you do that, it should pop up in your wallet. So if you go to my account once you're logged in, it should show there how much Ethereum you have. And that's when we can start going shopping, right? Finally, the fun part. Let's go. Marketplace. This is where you buy your first team. I know it's going to be a nerve-wracking experience seeing 630,000 Axies on the market. How do you even know what to buy, right? There's a pretty classic build that you can safely use. It's not going to be the best, and I wouldn't worry about it too much. You're going to be able to play with it pretty well, and it's going to be good to start. You're never going to figure out the meta straight off the bat, and that's always changing, right? It's with all things gaming. It's all with all things when you first get into it. But I'm going to give you guys a really solid team to start with, and hopefully we can find it cheap during these times. The first one is a plant. You need a tank, right? For those of you familiar with gaming, that's the one that eats up all the damage in the front. It's basically your guardian and your shield. That's where plants come in. They've been around for a long time. That's why a lot of people breed them. This is the build that has worked well. Pumpkin is your shield that goes on the back. We're going with a Sirius where you can steal energy, vegetable bite. We got cactus, do a little bit of damage, and we've got hot butt, which is a bit of a disabler. Now with all the three Axies I'm going to show you, don't even mention, the first build is going to be a plant beast aqua build, and we're going to go with mostly pures. You know, that's been the safer bet in terms of retaining value. You know, we don't want something where you buy it and value gets wiped out. The pures have been holding up pretty strong through these volatile times and updates. If this ever changes in the future, I'll follow up with an updated video, but so far this is what you want to go with. Now the floor Axie, see how we've run these filters on the side here? It's fixed things such that we're no longer buying the floor Axies, right? Because the floor Axies are just rubbish and people are just trying to dump those on you. You know, I want to avoid that. I've also got an extension here which I should have mentioned to you. It's called Freaks Axie extension. It adds a little bit of extra info which you want. I'm going to drop the link as well for you guys. I can't believe I almost forgot. So that's the one there. Now, what does that do? That gives you a little bit of extra stats in terms of its purity and its genes, which you wouldn't see without it. Here we go. Here's our search. So if you didn't have Freaks Axie extension, you wouldn't see the purity of the genes in terms of the dominance, recessive 1, recessive 2. They all play into the breeding aspect of Axie, which I'll explain in another video, and I'll pop it somewhere around in this screen. But for the time being, we want to look at something where we can reduce the number of where it hasn't been bred or hasn't been bred as much, where you can see a 0 here. That would be ideal. If you can't and you're running on a tight budget, you know, up to 2 is fine. 1's great. This is probably a decent one. So you can pick this one up for $35. It's a Sirius, Cactus, Pumpkin. Let's open that up, show you what skills they have. There we go. Pumpkin gives you that extra shield. Sirius lets you steal energy, do a bit of damage with your plan as well. And Hot Butt is that disabler with a bit of shield and damage. This is a fantastic first starting one. Again, if you want to, if you want to go breed count, you can filter it. These filters are really good now. Hit up that 0. Let's see what we got. Actually, if you can, we want to max out the health of our tank as well. So we can apply that filter. They're all up on the left. Let's see what options we have. Still some decent options. Generic purity, not that much, but if you're looking to just dip your toes and have something strong to play, you can pick something up around the $50 mark. I wouldn't be afraid to spend a little bit more for a bit of genetic purity. That's that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, probably get something, probably even up to $60 for a generic purity, right? All right, so that's our plant. Let's say that's $60 for our plant. Let's move on to our beast. I'm going to reset these filters. This is your damage card. This is where your beast comes in. And we're going with a double nut rimp build. This has been around for a long time, and it is an absolute beast. So nutcracker, 2 nutcrackers is a difference. So there's a nutcracker with a nutcrack and a nutcracker with a nut throw. So it's all nuts. Let's have a look. What else? Oh, that's right. Rimp. So we want Ronin. And we want Imp. If you haven't figured out by now, Axie's battling components are made of 4 parts. It's obviously the horns, the mouth, the tail, and the claws. So you can only equip 1 ability for each part of the Axie. There are 6 other parts, which 2 of them go into the calculation and are also cosmetic. So, calculation of battles. Beasts look like they're more expensive, which makes sense because they're a bit more in the meta right now. Let's refresh it. You're probably going to struggle getting a pure breed of this right now. So it's worthwhile paying a little bit more for that, but keep that in mind. Let's just call that $80. So we've got $60 for the plant, $80 for your beast. And the third one, we're going with the classic Aqua. I know they're not that popular right now in terms of the meta, but that changes, and it's a great, again, we're building a starting deck for you to get used to the game, make it easier, get yourself familiar with it, and something that still somewhat holds value. So we're going to go with a Nemo, Risky Fish, Shoalstar, and Goldfish build. Swift Escape. Let's see what we can get. Oh, look at that. They're so much cheaper than they used to be. Right. The Nemo gives you that extra energy you need. I'm just going to open up this first one. That looks pretty decent. Although 2 breed. If it can load properly. There we go. Okay. That is what you're going to go with. Nemo gives you extra energy. I mean, I'm going to let you read the cards yourself or go into more detailed guide. It's not for this first one, beginner one, but that if there's any recommendation, it'll be those 3, and I think you can probably pick up a decent one for $60 on this one. So what do we got? We've got 60 plus 60 plus 80. That's about $200 for your first deck to make sure it's somewhat okay. Again, push for 0 breed. Get this as pure as you can. When I say pure, see how this shows up as blue for your Aqua. As much blue as you can see, particularly on the dominant 1 strain. Why am I pointing at the screen as if you can see what I'm pointing at? On this, under the first column here, dominance, keep that as blue as you can, because the way breeding works is that the first column contributes the most in terms of genes for the children, right? Again, I don't want to go too much into it. Let's do it in another guide, but that would be your great first team. Now, once you have your team, what does that look like? Okay, let's go back. I thought I logged in. Obviously not. Let me log in with my main account. They're going to show up in your inventory. Make sure that's there. You should probably see 3 Axies there. So you have your plant, you have your beast, and your Aqua. Lovely. Did you install the game? I hope you did. After you did, you should be prompted with a login screen. Once you log in via that software, you've got this button here. Now let's go hit play. Should pop up with the play button. Here it is. Now this is where some people freak out. It's empty logs and they think, oh, did I just get scammed? Did I get rugged? Did I do something wrong? No, it's fine. You need to go to your inventory. No, you don't. You need to go to your teams. No, you don't. There's a button. Here it is. Axies. You need to go into your Axies. You need to press sync Axie and make sure it syncs up with your account, and they should pop up. Give it a minute and they should load. That is it. That is it, my good friends, and you're set to play. I know it's a little bit more cumbersome than traditional games, but it's not that difficult. Very simple, right? So follow those steps and you're all set. I will finish with one final note if I can get out of this thing. There we go. Join the Axie Discord, right? There's a lot of useful information there. You can see what people are talking about. And in particular, you want to be able to grow your scholarships. I think that is where the fun is at. That's where you can play with people. That's where you can make a lot more dough. Join the Discord. That's where you find scholars. And I will put a new video again somewhere around my head or the screen about how to set up your first scholarship. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.